Hello, my name is Aja and I am with MaidCentral, and this will be a video going over our new dashboards, ticket Kanban boards, and how to create a Core KPI dashboard using this new feature. So just to kind of get started, here is a customized dashboard. Um, just a little bit of everything here, nothing too crazy, but what we kind of wanted to go into first is just our new ticket Kanban boards and how to create those and how to use them. So I'm going to go ahead and click Edit Dashboard so that we can see how some of this works. First thing to note is in the top right corner, we have our dashboard settings, add a dashboard or add a widget and save dashboard. Dashboard settings is just going to have a name and description. So on this one, I could call it a sales dashboard, and it will just be for our sales technicians or our sales office members. We'll say that our sales office person is Joe. He is here to help out with sales. So we're going to make a little dashboard for him using our ticket Kanban boards and some stats that he might want. So let's go ahead and just start from scratch. I'm going to go ahead and delete all of these widgets that were already on here. All of the dashboards are connected. So if you want to have a different dashboard for each position or each person on your team, that is highly recommended so that if one person changes their dashboard or something like that, it doesn't change it for everybody. So now we're going to go ahead and get some widgets added on here. For a salesperson, we are definitely going to want probably a chart of customers just to see how things are looking, our gained weekly service or gained service sets, lead count, new customers, quote count, sales recurring, and we'll add a ticket Kanban board. You'll notice that all of them just kind of stacked up over here on the left-hand side, but they did all add. So when I close this, you'll see them kind of unstack a little bit. I prefer to save this dashboard before I keep going, and so that it kind of populates things, and then I'll go ahead and edit it again so that I can move things around and kind of put things where I want to. So I'm just going to move all of these little data points up to the top. Go ahead and expand that guy out a little bit. I don't know if this one's going to let me make it small enough to fit here. Sometimes that one is a little funky with the charts. So just something like this to get us started. Now, for Joe here on this ticket Kanban board, we probably don't need him to see Josh and Janelle's information, and he probably doesn't need to see the triage of tickets either. So we're just going to put the quote tickets here for him, and how we're going to do that is we can edit this. This is kind of our ticket Kanban dashboard widget. You can manage your buckets here, which I'm actually going to edit this quote tickets so that it doesn't look like we're snakes and say S is really long. I did that on purpose a couple of days ago to help me distinguish between something else, but now it is correct. So we'll save that. Here you can kind of choose which buckets you'd like to show up on this widget. So we really just want our quote tickets and we want Joe on here. This works really well if you have multiple salespeople or something so that you can have this Kanban will just be Joe's. So we could create another one for Josh and another one for Janelle that just had the quote tickets and their bucket. So they could move everything from the quote tickets to themselves and kind of assign it to themselves in their own bucket. Now, the other piece that we can do here is we can create as many buckets as we'd like to, and we can choose as many buckets as we'd like to show up here. Sometimes less is more, which is what we're kind of going for here, with just showing the quote tickets and Joe. And then under the autofill tickets into buckets, this is standard for all buckets, right? So all new tickets, where do you want new tickets to go to? So here we have moved everything into triage. So everything automatically goes into triage. All our contact tickets, customer tickets, employee tickets go into triage. And then our quote tickets are going into quote tickets, which sounds confusing, but those are our 4 ticket types, right? Contact tickets, customer, employee, and quote. We're moving everything except for quote into the triage bucket. And then we've got our quote tickets automatically going into the quote tickets bucket. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. Again, nothing updates here when you save that automatically, so that it kind of lets you keep working on things. But you'll see in the bottom right corner, it had that little save successfully. So that did save. So I'm going to go ahead and make a couple other changes to things, and then we'll save the whole dashboard and see what we've got. So on our sales recurring, let's just take a look at, let's look at the last 4 weeks of data, and we'll do, I like this pink one a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and do that one. Quote count, we'll do the same thing. We'll look at 4 weeks just so we can get an idea of how things are looking. New customers, this one doesn't have a week range on it, so I'm not sure what the filter is on that one automatically. I'm assuming it's a week, but I'm not positive. Lead count will also do 4 weeks. And services gained week to date. So this one's great. I'm going to try this one for that. And now I'm going to go ahead and save this dashboard all together. We've got a save successfully down here. We can see it's still loading up in the top. It takes about 5 seconds to fully update. Okay, so this is good to know. These charts do have a minimum size. So that's really important to know. Same with the Kanban board. The Kanban board has to take up 8 sections technically. Hold on, let me edit this. How would we call that? 1, 2, 3. So each one of these boxes is 3. So this one needs at least 4 spaces along the top, and this one needs 6 spaces along the top. They can't be any smaller than that. So let's say I can make these ones a lot smaller. Can I make them longer? So what if I do it this way? We'll do our leads to quotes, and then to sales recurring. This one's a little less important. It's nice to see, but it's not quite as important for a salesperson to have right in front of them. So maybe we'll go leads to quote to sales. How many have we gained? And what are our new customers? So we'll just do something like this. Let me go ahead and save that. I'm still learning here. What changed? Can I just make these twosies then? Lead, quote, sales. Will that let me save it like that? I'm learning here what our limitations on size are. There we go. Okay, so I guess I do have to stay 3 size, or size 3 here, at least for this arrangement. So we'll go ahead and leave it like this for now. Here on the Kanban board, you can drag and drop onto the boards here. You can also close tickets in bulk now, which is really nice. So we've got, Joe can assign himself here, and this removes it from the quote tickets bucket. So if anybody else has the quote tickets bucket on their Kanban board, it will automatically update and show exactly how many, it'll remove these tickets that Joe assigned to himself or that somebody assigned to Joe from the quote tickets bucket. So this is a cool little sales dashboard. Gives you an idea of our lead count for a month period and how that compared to the month before that. So right now we're at 4 leads for the month, whereas the month before that we only had 3.4 on average for the week. Maybe we're looking at weeks. No, this should be a 4-week average. Same thing here. So it's just kind of giving you a comparison to the same period of time earlier. So if we're looking at a month's worth of data, it's looking at the month previous as well. So hopefully that helps a little bit. There's some fun things that you can do here, lots to play with as far as how these can look. You can change the visualization of them in lots of ways. You can make them look really any way that you'd like to. And really take whatever data you'd like to, change the names of each widget, change the descriptions on them. You can make this really look the way that you'd like to. So that is a little bit of a sales dashboard. Now, what I'd like to do is now let's go ahead and create a Core KPIs dashboard. So to do this, we are going to go to customize my dashboard, and instead of clicking on that, we're going to hover over it and go down to manage dashboards. From here, we will create a new dashboard. There is a limit on how many roles a dashboard can have, so I'm just going to choose these 3 of group administrator, office, and administrator. Maybe that also limits it. Oh, I have to put a name in. Don't mind me. Core KPIs. And let's just do a little heart in an MC blue color. We'll go ahead and create that. And now I'm going to, so here we can change, we can edit the name and the information about it. You can copy it so that you don't have to make things over and over again. So if I wanted to say I wanted to copy this sales dashboard, so this one I can call it Joe's dashboard, and then I can copy it and make it Josh's dashboard and take out Joe out of the Kanban board and put Josh into the Kanban board. So very easy to duplicate this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and just view this dashboard. It's going to be wonderfully blank. So now let's edit it. And from here, we're going to need to add a whole bunch of widgets. So here's a list of our core KPIs. I've already highlighted the ones that, well, the ones in bold are the ones that currently don't have a widget just yet created that we would be able to use for this. And the monthly operating expense we never have in MaidCentral. So that one's one that we're not able to pull out either. But the rest of these other 9, 10 KPIs, we are able to pull a couple of widgets for each one. So the first one is bill per cleaning. There's still some math happening here. So we are also creating just a really easy Google form and spreadsheet to kind of help with some of these calculations. So you could just fill out the form with the information on your widgets and get some cool calculations out of that. So we're working on that, and that will also be uploaded with this as well. So let's go ahead and look at our bill per cleaning. So that's going to be revenue divided by job count. So we're going to go ahead and pull our revenue here, and then we also have a job count as well. So I'll add that one on there. The next one is quotes per week. We just have a lovely little quote count one for that. Cleanings per month per home. This is going to be a little bit of job count and customer count to get that to kind of work. So we already have job count on there, so I'm just going to pull customer count. I could do another job count if I wanted to, but I'm not going to just yet. Daily revenue per technician. This is just going to be your revenue and a staff count. Right now, we don't have a days worked on here. That's another widget that we'd like to add, but it's still possible to do this without having the days worked. It makes it a little more accurate with the days worked, though, so just food for thought on that, but we're not going to worry about that too much. I added the customer count. Did I add the staff count? And then full-time equivalent technicians, that's going to be about the same for our staff count. We're working on getting a full-time kind of calculation happening, but that's a little bit longer down the road. That's not one that's quite as easy to grab out just yet. Total homes, that's just our customer count as well. Direct payroll percent to revenue, we have this already calculated out as a payroll to revenue. And then attrition rate per month. We are going to take our lost service sets per week to help calculate this. And the final one is our daily absentee rate. So we'll take our unexcused and excused absences for both of those. Now I'm going to go ahead and close this. You can see that just added a whole bunch of things down here. I'm going to save it so that we have some data in it. And then we will go back and edit this. So I'm going to actually pop this out so I can dual screen it just a little bit. It helps me think when I can see everything all together. All right, so bill per cleaning. I'm actually going to just move some things off to the side so I can, not everything has to be in a single space. All right, so for bill per cleaning, we're going to do revenue divided by job count. So I'm just going to put those in order. Quotes per week, we just need our quote count here. Oh, close rate, I missed that one. So let's add a widget for recurring sales. So we've got quote count, which would be sales divided by, oh my gosh, why? Will you guys stop doing that to me? There we go. Sales divided by quotes to get our close rate. Cleanings per month per home. We've got our job count and our customer count to help calculate those. And then let's go ahead and create a technician column. So we've got our staff count. Oops. Still learning how the best way to rearrange everything without, combining everything. Actually, I'm going to just make this a nice little column here. And then this one down here. Okay, let's go ahead and save this. So we get some data out of it, and then we'll edit. All right. So typically I recommend doing at least 4 weeks of data for these at minimum, but probably closer to 8 to 12. So we'll go ahead and just do a 4 weeks one for now. This one is revenue. I actually will use this one here. Job count. I think this one actually works just fine for that one. Customer count. I really like this one. Sales recurring. I'm really just picking these at random right now. There's no rhyme or reason. I just want to see what they all look like more than anything. Um, with real data, I'm sure it becomes a little bit more obvious kind of what things look like. Oh, and I keep forgetting to change all of these to 4 weeks. Let's go back. Right now, most of these widgets are populated by stats by week. So if you have not closed, this one we're going to do a month to date on here. So if you haven't closed payroll or closed out your week, you're not going to have up-to-date information. The things that are live, we have a couple of live updating widgets. The ones that are live are gain service sets week to date, which also has a month to date, quarter to date, and year to date option. Same with lost service sets. We also have a quality score week to date and revenue week to date. Those can also be done month to date, quarter to date, and year to date. So those are our live data points currently. We're working on getting more things to be live, but we didn't want to delay the release of this really awesome feature to do that. Forgot to put the 4 in there again. I will get there. All right. So now let's go ahead and save that and see what our update looks like. Because now I'm actually really curious what our last payroll period was closed. So I'm assuming it's the 22nd. Yep. Okay. So our test environment's a little behind. All right. So now These are all the widgets that you would need to be able to calculate at least 10 of the 15 um, core KPIs. So, and one of them is already calculated for you at least. So that's really cool. What we're working on to add with this is just a nice little Google form and spreadsheet that you can use to just kind of populate all of this. So for now, we will go ahead and end this here. You can make this for any period of time that you would like. Um, and kind of get an idea of comparing things. So when I'm looking at this, what this means is we've got our job count. So here's our 4-week average or our current week's job count compared to our 4-week average of 87. So we've had 14 more than our 4-week average based off of this job count. Same thing with our customer count. We've got a 4-week average. This is looking at our current count versus the 4-week average starting on 6/25/71, I believe. So it's the numbers between here and here, the average of those and how this has changed. We could also just make this so let's see if I edit this. Maybe I just want to look at this current week for these ones. So there we go. Now we can kind of get an idea of our sales for that week, our quotes for that week, and how many we lost that week. So this is actually pretty nice. So it's also really cool to have this 4-week average. So if I take this lost service sets, this is another thing to help with attrition. So if I take this lost service sets and I actually change it to month to date, and we'll use this drop down to change it to a month to date and save it. And I actually do want to use a comparison, so let's do this one. So this is telling me that last month we lost 14 customers and our 4-week average was 87. So I can actually take 14 divided by 87, which is great. This is actually interesting that we had 14 additional here. Oh, this is job count, not customer count. Sorry, don't mind me. So our 4-week average was 155, and this is our month to date. So our month to date right now is 5. Last month's loss was 14. So if I take 14 divided by 155, that's going to give me a current monthly attrition. We have lost 9 less than we did the previous month. So this should actually be green because this is lost service sets is a bad thing. That's another thing that we would like to update with this is just being able to define whether going up is good or going down is good. So, because some of these things we want them to be going up is a good thing or going down is a good thing. Like lost service sets going down is actually a good thing. So this number would be a -9 should be green because green numbers are good and red numbers are bad. But that just hasn't happened yet. So just because this just came out. So hopefully that helps you a little bit in creating your own core KPI dashboard. And keep an eye out for some extra tools that we are adding just to kind of help use these things a little bit more and keep a good record of the information that you're getting from it. So hope you enjoy this and have a great rest of your day.